Hey everyone, Soundwave884 here with another edition of Battle of the Bots, and this is coming at you pre-recorded from my basement. And yes, I'm talking to the ass of this ghost. It looks like that because my mouth is that close to his anus. Who will come out on top? Let's send it down to myself to get the tail of the tape.
Thanks, myself. Here I am, Soundwave884, down on the floor, or in the same spot as I just was, or wasn't. I'm down here with the tail of the tape, and this ain't going to be a Sulu affair. It's a tag team affair. Universe Ratchet and Ironhide, year 2008, height 5.5 inches, weight 4 ounces. Earthrise Ironhide and Ratchet, year 2020, height 6 inches, weight 4.4 ounces. Round 1.
Alright, so we're going to look at the head sculpt right here. First up, we have Universe Ironhide. And his head sculpt, if you could see it, he likes to hang his head down because he's just depressed about something. But it's there. It's a nice head sculpt. I mean, if you can see it, he's got this baby blue face going on. Blue there as well on the little head crest, which actually matches the baby blue going on his carp. Now the production photos of the figure actually showed silver there, but as you can see, that is not silver. Now he does have light piping, but with this figure, with this big thing on the back, you can get a lot of dead eyes with this figure to get the light just right into the light piping there. So what we're going to do is get this little flashlight here. Now when you get it in there, that is some beautiful light piping, but you got to get it just right to really get that good effect. Is Earthrise Ironhide, and his head sculpt is decent as well. Very G1-esque. I just kind of wish he had a little head articulation to look up. This piece here does kind of block it a little bit. You can lower it down. But it's a nice head sculpt. Painted eyes on this face here. More G1 cartoon look to the actual face. Whereas this one here is very, I think, robotic-like. So, winner, round 1, holy shit! Earthrise, Ironhide, and Ratchet.
Round 2.
It is all about body design. Which figure has the best overall body sculpting going on? Which one looks the coolest in robot mode? Now, like I said, this is all opinion based here. But going on this one, it looks pretty cool as being the first attempt since pretty much G1 to make an actual Ironhide and be sort of anime based or G1 based. I mean, he does take liberties with the vehicle mode, but I mean, it's not bad. I mean, not a bad looking robot. Some of the articulation could be wonky, but we'll get to articulation later. Just with the rear of the car as his actual chest to the front of the vehicle, which is actually on his back. He does carry a backpack, so when he goes hiking in Western Europe, and he does have this weird hollow bits going on here in the legs. So that can be sort of distracting. People don't like hollow. Instead of being hollow in the thighs, he's just got big gaps down here above his feet. And to the side, he's got this weird look here. Like I said, the backpack. Overall, it's not a bad looking robot, and this is a decent design, especially for a character like Ironhide. It's still loads better than what we got in G1. Alright, Earthrise, Ironhide, Ratchet. Yes, I'm using Ironhide for all the robot parts, and I'll be doing Ratchet for the vehicle parts. But first, so overall body design, he looks like a brawler, like someone who would just straight up kick your ass. Now, I think in the IDW series Spotlight Blur, I think Ironhide was a bouncer for like a bar. And that's the kind of look I get when I see this figure, especially also the Siege version. He just looks like he could just whoop your butt. And I think that's a good look for Ironhide. It's got a nice look of the cartoon colorations. We get the yellow striping, which here though is on his legs. And we get sort of dark gray, gumbo gray to black shoulder pylons. I guess it's supposed to be black, but my eyes, it looks gray here, black on camera. It is a good looking robot mode for Ironhide, and I think probably the best Ironhide we had got at this point. So again, winner round 2, Earthrise Ironhide.
Round 3.
Alright, so with the universe version here, we get this weird like Gatling gun which is actually reversible. It goes right over his arm. You can, if you do it just right, fit his hand inside of it. Otherwise, you close his hand down, and then it will just snap right over like that. It helps if it stays on, so like that. And you get the Gatling gun. Now you can take this off, and it's actually reversible. You see there's clips on this side. You push that in, so it goes like this. And this is the one that works better with the hand on the inside. So you have this blade here that you can pull out, but you have the hand inside. The hand will push the blade out for you. You just gotta get it just right, and then like that. And you have a little close quarters combat knife going on. Yeah. So that's your accessories that you will get with the universe versions of Ratchet and Ironhide. Ironhide and Ratchet, what you're going to get is this pistol here. Very reminiscent of the G1 gun that came with the actual G1 figures. And you get the backpack, which can be opened up to like a little sled, pegged in his arm as like a big shield, or you can store it on his back. So, accessories, neither one is really big on the accessory front here. This one becomes a parts former, which a lot of people do hate. It's become the roof and sides here, side windows of his van mode. But again, I'm going to give it to Earthrise Ironhide and Ratchet.
Round 4.
Articulation. First up again, here is Universe Ironhide. Articulation, you get elbow bends here. Like I said, you get some weird articulation with this guy here. And you get the side motion here at the elbow. And you get it again here at the bicep. This is all for transformation. So you're going to get that. Swivel is here underneath the elbow. The wrist is on this little joint here. So you actually can close his hand up like this. Open it up. And you have extra wrist movement there as well. Then you can also turn it because of the ball joint inside the forearm. So you get lots of movement there. Shoulders. This is going to be your shoulder here, and then you can rotate these 360 around as well. Waist, you get a waist swivel 360 degrees. Now I think his waist right here just looks odd. You get thigh swivels, knee bends here. You can go out to the side. You can kick front far, back far, and you do get ankle tilts to the side, and you get a rock front and back. Head, you're not really looking up because you ain't looking straight. You can turn this to here each way, so you get a little bit of movement. There's a down. Nope, no down. His head's pretty static there. Alright, so Earthrise. You get your elbow bends, your upper bicep swivels. You do get a wrist swivel as well. Shoulders out to there. You can spin them around. There's no up and down on the head. You do get a 360 all the way around. You do get 360 degrees. Minus the backpack of waist articulation. You get your legs up to there, very far, front and back, bends, swivels, and you get your side to side here on the foot. Winner round 4, Universe Ironhide and Ratchet, with 28 points that I counted of articulation. I could have missed some, whereas Earthrise only had 22 points of articulation.
Round 5.
Alright, quality controller, your QC problems, you're going to get this figure right off the bat. The Chug, or the Universe version, did not come as advertised. But, you know, they always say colors may vary. So he's got the blue face. Yeah, it's a no-no there. But then you get the, where the head does not pretty much look straight. And there are some ways you can finesse his body around here and get him to close up more, which I think shrinks him a little bit. But it gets a little bit higher head movement, or head to look at you. I would say it would be having this big back piece here, and then but giving him light piping. I love light piping when it's on a figure, when it's good light piping. It's like following this sound wave. Figures like that, excellent light piping. But I hate when they give a figure light piping when there's something blocking the back of their head. That's when you should just go full-blown paint on the eyes. Now moving on to Earthrise Ironhide Ratchet. Mostly the Siege version had this. This one does do it for me as well. These flaps here on the legs can and will probably pop off a few times when you are messing with this figure. And that is probably the biggest, I would say, complaint quality-wise on this figure. The thing with Universe Ironhide here is these clear plastic, translucent plastic pieces. You're going to have to pop out a lot and then peg in. fear of breaking something here is really high on this part of the figure. So, winner of round 5, you can get tired of seeing this guy, Earthrise Ironhide.
Round 6.
On to transformation. As you can see here, I got Universe Ratchet already transformed into his, I guess you would call it a sport utility vehicle form here. It's okay, the transformation. You can see by looking at it how many panels and pieces it have to fold up just right to achieve this transformation, especially here also on the hood of the vehicle. It is a decently complex transformation, going with the arms to get them a certain way to get the figure flipped out, rings on pieces, things that gotta pop out, the legs here, get them just right. It's just a lot of stuff moving on. A more complex and challenging transformation to go from something like this to this. Alright, Earthrise Ratchet here in hand in vehicle mode. Now these figures are a little more simplistic. It's not as simplistic as some of the Combiner Wars figures, but to go from this guy to this is not that hard at all. The hardest part, I think, actually would be just getting the add-on piece here, the translucent plastic pieces, to snap in without fear of breaking them or snapping them. Otherwise, it's very intuitive, very easy to accomplish. You'll probably lose a flap or two falling off like this piece here. Doesn't really do as much on Ratchet. You can see I just pulled it out and how it's already wanting to pop off and make a liar out of me, because it doesn't do much on Ratchet. Overall, the transformation to get from this to this is a lot simpler and very, very easy. Not as challenging. So it depends here which kind of transformation do you like. Do you like the challenging ones? Anyway, this one isn't that challenging. This is more challenging than what here. So, transformation, it's a draw.
Round 7.
Alright, so last round here, we are looking at the alt mode. Which one achieves the best vehicle mode? This is your Universe Ratchet with a beautiful looking, well, I don't want to say beautiful, with a good looking vehicle mode. We do get this weird baby blue painted windows here, which are the same colors as what we got on Ironhide. And you get like a translucent windows here, which are done in a blue coloring, but it does not match this baby blue. So this baby blue parts here just really stand out. Maybe she went for a different kind of blue coloring on the figure to make it match better with the blue that we had in the windshields here. Then we get into the dull white figure. So the white isn't very white. It's a dull white, and then it's kind of meh when you look at it. But I do like how they do have the headlights and the tail lights. They're actually separate pieces of plastic, or just, you know, pegged into the vehicle mode. I like that a lot more than just throwing on some paint. I just like the look that these actually do give. Now we do have some stickers here put on top of this, some red and the blue, which I think is just a little weird. I'm not really sticking, you want to try to say tampos here. That could really, I think, in my opinion, be done without. And on the side, you can see his head there peekabooing at you. Hey, how you doing? We do get some thicker wheels here. I do like the red next to this and that. We do get a design here on this side of the vehicle, and it's got like the heartbeat going through here. And we get the Help Us tag, which is a throwback to Marvel Comics with Ratchet and Megatron. And we do also get side view mirrors on the sides of the vehicle mode, which is nice, but we don't get that a lot in actual mainline Transformers. This is nice to see. Alright, here is Earthrise Ratchet in vehicle mode. I do love the front of the vehicle. I think this actually stands out. Now we do get painted headlights here. Tail lights, you get nothing. We get the red stripe down the side, which is nice. I do like the blue coloring here. But the problem here is the windows in the back are nothing. They're just plain white. Whereas the other one attempted to paint something, these painted nothing. But in ambulances, a lot of times they don't have the windows. If they do like this kind of style, they'd be curtains hiding that anyway. Now the biggest problem here, as you can see, is the back end of the vehicle mode. This was just a forgotten. They had the budget for this, and someone got this part, like, oh, we ain't got those, a few cents in the budget. nix that shit right out. We'll just reuse the siege feet, and that's exactly what they have done here. There's been lots of upgrade kits and stuff online, people doing their own things to make better feet and back ends. Problem here is I think these feet accomplish a good thing in robot mode. When you get the upgrade feet, they accomplish a good thing in the vehicle mode, but I think it sort of, in my opinion, ruins the look of the robot mode. But I do like the overall front view and side view of this vehicle, and the way that the add-on parts forming piece forms up here at the top. And it's a nice vehicle mode overall, but the winner for alt mode, gonna have to give this one to the Universe figures. I know I don't like all the panels on the side. I just think this accomplishes a little bit better, especially with the back end. We actually get a window, and we get actual tail lights with a license plate. And we on the side, we get more designs, more windows, and I like the old school style of just having, you know, headlights and tail lights into the vehicle. We have reached the end of Battle of Bots after 7 rounds. Universe, Ironhide, and Ratchet have accrued 2 points. They have won the categories for alt mode and the category for articulation. They came out in a draw in the transformation category. To Earthrise, Ironhide, and Ratchet, they have won 4 categories out of 7 and had a draw, like I said, in the transformation. They won for head sculpt, body design, accessories, and for overall quality of product. The winner of Battle of the Bots, Earthrise, Ironhide, and Ratchet. And I did ask you over on my YouTube community page, I did post a poll. I did post a poll asking which one was your favorite duo, and overwhelmingly, Earthrise, Ironhide, and Ratchet won that. 92% of the vote to 8% for the Universe, Ironhide, and Ratchet, which actually surprised me. I thought maybe there'd be more nostalgic love back for the Universe versions of these characters. I know the robot modes are iffy, especially for Ironhide. But I thought maybe the vehicle modes might have pushed them over these, especially with the ass end of these vehicle modes. But that is the end of Battle of the Bots. You run them over, Ratchet. Winners: Earthrise, Ironhide, Earthrise, Ratchet.
Oh, who is this? A new challenger has entered the battle.